For me, tomorrow is season number 20 of watching the Premier League and season number 20 of having watched Manchester United. But for the first time in about a decade, it's gonna be a bit of a different match week one. You know, a handful of years ago, I was at my lowest, both mentally and physically. And for somebody like myself who was very relentless in my work ethic and my desire to continue to work hard, to not disappoint my parents, not to disappoint myself, and to, you know, just keep working, I finally felt like all of it was sort of coming apart, really. Everything in and around my orbit was crumbling, and I was truly at my lowest. But the one thing that really kept me going, or kept my mind preoccupied to the fullest extent, was football. It was Manchester United. And I think that year Ahmad had just signed from Atalanta, and it really struck my mind that as much as I loved doing content, I wasn't sure if I was going to continue to do it anymore, because it was one of those things where, yeah, I wanted to drop everything and maybe start afresh or something. I don't know. I wanted to give up, basically. But long story short, I thought to myself, let's maybe give content and footy a serious go at it. You know, I've been doing it as a really fun, passionate side project of mine, or kind of just like a hobby. But I had developed all these skills. I had learned how to use a camera. I had learned how to edit using software, photos, videos. I had developed all these skills, and it was truly something that I enjoyed doing, you know? And I thought to myself, maybe I shouldn't give up on that. So I talked to a lot of my close friends about it, and they were all very supportive, in the sense that they all said something along the lines of, John, whatever you do, at the end of the day, you do what you need to do, and we're here to support you. And let's be real, like, that in itself is a blessing of all blessings, you know? But I spoke to somebody about it, and his reaction was the most interesting one. His reaction was, okay. And it caught my attention, because I was like, what's that about? What is that? What is okay, what is that? What is that? He was like, Young, I don't think you should give up on it. I don't think it's something that you should give up on, because I truly believe that it's something that I know brings you happiness, and it's also something that I know you're good at. And I was like, hey, fair point. This was Jimmy. He had seen me go through some quite rough patches in my life, and he truly felt like content and football and talking about football and doing all of these things was something that he felt I genuinely enjoyed doing. So he told me not to give up on it. So I thought, you know what? If I'm not gonna give up on it, I'm gonna go 110,000%. I'm gonna go hard in the paint. We're gonna go 2 years, nonstop, relentlessness. I'm gonna hire an assistant. I'm gonna do long form content. I'm gonna go podcasting again. I'm gonna do man on the street interviews again. I'm gonna do everything that I possibly can to really fully do this, so that in 2 years' time, I can quit my full-time job and I can do this full-time. So 2 years of relentless hard work of doing content full-time and having a 9-to-5, and all the while taking care of family and all of these other things on the side. Then I told Jimmy that I was gonna hire an assistant, and he again went, okay. I was like, what is that? What is? And then he thought about it for a bit, and then he went, Young, don't hire an assistant. It's a lot of money. Let me work for you. And immediately I said no, because I hated the idea of working with friends. I hated the idea of a friend working for me. I hated all of it. I didn't like the idea of bringing friends into my, you know, work. But he insisted, and he insisted, and he insisted. And eventually, after maybe a month worth of intense back and forth, we met here, right here in this park. Actually, on this grass, we sat down and had a meeting, because sometimes we had to meet outdoors. I was like, Jimmy, you know how I am. You know how serious I am. When I say we're gonna do something, like, I'm 100% committed. Like, are you ready to take on that kind of serious project? Because Jimmy's a very casual guy. He's an easygoing fella, you know, and sometimes I can be very intense. And I had no idea where this was gonna take us, you know, because if we were gonna go super hard in the paint, I foresaw a level of intensity we probably never experienced before. And Jimmy was like, yes. I thought about it. I thought about it. I was like, you sure? He's like, yes. I was like, are you sure? He was like, yes. We went back and forth 1,000 times, and eventually we came here at this very park, and we decided, you know what, Jimmy, then let's go hard. Let's do this for 2 years. We set ourselves some goals, we had some metrics, and yeah, we went hard. We went so hard. countless hours meeting, strategizing, doing podcasts together, doing live streams together, late nights at our studio, late nights at my house, figuring out how we're gonna shoot, what we're gonna do, doing work on the side to save money for our trips so that we can go on preseason tours, traveling to London, to Manchester, to Switzerland. The last 4 years have been the most exhausting, yet most rewarding, most puzzling, but most clear, the most intense, yet the most fulfilling. It's been sometimes the most frustrating, the most saddest, angriest, but at times the most happiest, most proud moments. I truly believe that if it wasn't for Jimmy, I probably would have quit. I would have sat here and told Jimmy I was gonna quit everything. But this said, let's keep going. We had the craziest summer doing the FIFA Club World Cup. It was insane. We met so many people. We did so many incredible things, and it was very fulfilling. It was very rewarding. And we kind of sat back and were like, damn, we got to do that. And then literally we caught 5 minutes of break and we were readying ourselves to go on preseason tour. And then he got sick. He caught something. I don't know what the hell it was, but he got sick. And I was like, yo, Jimmy, don't worry about New York, Chicago, and Atlanta. I'll take care of that. And you catch yourselves a rest, and then we'll figure out our way when we get to Manchester. But in the midst of all of that, literally as United flew in to Niagara Falls, Jimmy told me about this incredible opportunity, out west. And I can clearly tell he was so careful about telling me it, because he knew that, I could tell this prick was very careful because he was scared. Because finally, after all these 4 years of hard work, something was actually, presenting itself to us. For the first time, we saw cracks of light shimmering through, this darkness at the end of the tunnel, whatever the phrase is. We both saw that it was finally coming together, and this opportunity for him was something that he couldn't refuse. It was so important for him. And I knew right away that I had to be the first person to just tell him straight up, do not refuse this offer. Take it. Say yes right now. Send the email back. Tell him I'm gonna do it. Tell him my ass is gonna be out there in 2 days' time. I'm gonna do it. And he was like, no, I have to really, really think about it. I was like, of course you do. Of course. Not only are you moving away, living on your own, leaving your family, kind of spreading your own wings. He's got to give up and drop so many things that was going on here, including our project, what we do here. I felt I couldn't be the one to tell him, don't leave, to continue to work on what we're doing here because we're almost there, I couldn't be the one to tell him that because I still can't guarantee that. And B, at the end of the day, the chances of this becoming so successful that he was gonna quit his full-time job and I was gonna quit my full-time job to pursue this full-time, the chances of that happening was gonna be very low. Whereas the chance of him doing something incredible with his own career was literally presented on a platter. How can you say no to that? I was adamant that he take it, and he continued to push. So this motherfucker just said, yeah, I'm gonna take it. Okay. This prick. It's the reason why you didn't see him on the preseason tours. It's the reason why you didn't see him with me in Manchester, and it's the reason why you won't be seeing him for a long time here. He almost kind of was asking for my blessing. But that shit pissed me off. Who the fuck am I to give him blessings? If anything, I should have been the one with a box of gifts or something to say thank you for all the fucking hours he put in grafting, all those hours of meetings and videos and recordings and all the exhausting hours that he put in, all the while taking care of his own family, taking care of his job for 4 years. This motherfucker just believed in me. This fucking prick. I don't even want to post this shit anymore because he's going to be like, you cried because of me, you fucking... No, Jimmy. How about that? Huh? How about that, you... I didn't even have a chance to say a proper goodbye because literally we were so busy traveling, preseason tours, and then heading right back to Manchester for the Snapdragon Cup, and it's still 1,000 miles per hour. I've been sort of spoiled with, because who in their right mind gives up 4 years of their weekends, of their weeknights, of hours that they could be putting to sleeping, going out on dates, doing all these things? Who in their right mind gives that up to some schmuck who isn't even successful at all. I think Jimmy was stupid, if you think about it. And I didn't want to talk about this video as if this freaking like he hit the stairs. No, he's now finally relieved of all of this stress and nonsense because now he gets to go live his life and do his own thing, and I'm so fucking happy for him. You know, in some ways, it's like, it's the only thing I wanted for this guy, you know? And now this prick is enjoying life. And for the first time in, what, now 4 years, I'm back to doing this solo dolo. But it's not the same, because thanks to Jimmy, we were able to meet so many different people, build so many new incredible relationships, experience so many awesome things, and now going forward, that's a part of us, that's a part of me and Jimmy and this thing that we created, this beautiful thing that we call community, this beautiful thing we call journey. We created that together, and I've been blessed with that. So he kind of doesn't just leave me with nothing. And it's not like we're done. I told him, you know, take your time, do what you need to do, and then we'll jump back into it, because he still wants to be a part of this thing, but obviously at a very, 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 very significantly reduced capacity. But either way, I didn't know, I wanted to get this guy something, but I'm probably gonna have to do that for him when I visit him out west or something, I don't know. But in the meantime, this is what you got, you prick. You get a thank you video. How's that? Huh? It's good enough, right? Your ass had me waking up in the ass crack of dawn on a Saturday, sitting right here. Yo, I've been crying way too fucking much these past few months, man. It's just looking back at this past decade of all of these highs and lows and just all of the hardships and all the crazy shit I've had to endure, and Jimmy and I had to endure together, and all these crazy things. It's like, damn, we come a long fucking way. Jimmy, I'm gonna see your ass real soon. Take this opportunity to grow, to become a better version of yourself, to keep working hard, and do what you need to do. You know what I mean? And don't worry about your family, because you know we're gonna be holding it down for you here, so you don't need to worry about that. And do what you need to do, all right? And you. You win. How's that? You win, you prick. I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be sitting in front of a camera at this park, one of my sacred spots, crying because of Jimmy, this prick. What a beautiful shot. The sun's coming out, the sky's blue, the red is red, you know what I'm saying? And I'm crying like an idiot. I'm out of here. Thank you, guys. And I hope that someday, if you need somebody because you're going through some tough times, I hope you find a Jimmy. Shut the fuck up, I'm out.